Hello, friends. Welcome back to the anthology saga of Sid and Ahmed. I am Nadeem, the host of this episode number 4. It is a science fiction story, so the narration will be in 0.5x. Have all your patience and listen the story. The title of the story is Steins Way. The story involves an intricate series of time travel journeys. It begins with the young man speaking to the narrator who was the bartender in 1970. The young man is called as the unmarried human because he writes stories for the confession magazines, many of them presumably from the point of view of an unmarried human. Cajoled by the bartender, the unmarried human explains why he understands the female viewpoint so well. He was born as a girl in 1945 and raised in an orphanage. While as a fairly ugly teenager in 1963, he was seduced, impregnated, and abandoned by an older man. During the delivery of her child, doctor discovered that he had an intergender condition. Internally, he had both male and female body organs. Complications during delivery forced them to give him a gender change. The baby was later kidnapped and not seen again. The now former girl had to adjust to being a man and surviving as such despite being unprepared for any attainable job. Where he still identified as a girl, he had taken adequate lessons hoping to get into a space as a comfort worker for a workers and colonists. Disqualified for such a work by the physical after effects of childbirth, he used his secretarial skills to type manuscripts and eventually begin writing. Professing sympathy, the bartender offers to top his story. He guides the unmarried human into his back room and casts a net over the two of them. This is the part of time machine. The unmarried human is set loose in 1963, where he dates, falls for, seduces, impregnates, and leaves a young girl. At the same time, the bartender goes forward 11 months and kidnaps a baby and takes into an orphanage in 1945. He then returns to 1963 and picks up the unmarried human who is just beginning to realize what has happened. As the bartender tells him, now you know who he is, and after you think it over, you will know who you are, and if you think hard enough, you will figure out who the baby is and who I am. The bartender then drops the unmarried human, now his younger self, at an outpost of the Temporal Bureau, a time traveling secret police force that causes events in history to protect the human race. He has just recruited himself. Finally, the bartender returns to 1970, arriving a short time after he left the bar. He allows a customer to play I'm My Own Grandma song on the junk box, having yelled at the customer for playing the song before he left. Closing the bar, he time travels again to his home base. As he beds down for a much deserved rest, he contemplates the scare left over from the cesarean section performed when he gave birth to his daughter, father, mother, and entire history. He thinks, I know where I came from, but where did you all zombies come from? Thank you guys for joining us this week in the anthology saga of Siddhan Ahmed. The adapted script is prepared by Siteshwar. Stay tuned for more story podcasts.